Okay, now let's talk about Timothy Dalton's only other outing as 007 in License to Kill. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews presents the summer of 007. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Joel, better known to as the Big D, so I'll be bringing to y'all yet another James Bond review. And this will be my last Summer of 007 review for the month of July. If you haven't seen my reviews for the other movies and the Sean Connery ranking, click on the playlist that's up now. But don't worry, I've got one more video coming up, and it'll be on the ranking of all the Roger Moore flicks, alright? This isn't the last one, but it's the last review I'm doing. Okay? Alright, now that you've had time to click on the playlist, let us begin License to Kill from 1989. This is the 16th James Bond series produced by Eon Productions, and the second and unfortunately last to star Timothy Dalton in the role of 007. Its story sees him being suspended from MI6 as he pursues drug lord Franz Sanchez, who has ordered an attack against Bond's CIA friend Felix Leiter and the murder of his wife at their wedding. The film was directed by John Glenn. This would be his fifth and final film to be directed by him. The film was released by MGM UA for United Artists. This would also be the first Bond film to get the PG-13 rating. Now, it was the first film in the series to not use the title of an Ian Fleming story. Although its plotline is largely original, it contains elements of Living Let Die and the short story The Hildebrand Rarity, interwoven with a sabotage premise influenced by the film Yojimbo. Anyway, it was also the last film to feature Robert Brown as M and Caroline Bliss as Miss Moneypenny. Anyway, it would also be the final Bond film to utilize the services of screenwriter Richard Maibaum and tile designer Maurice Bender, who died in 1991, and Albert R. Broccoli, the producer, who passed away in 96, a year after the next Bond film came out. Excuse me, I said film. My mistake. Originally titled License Revoked, in line with the plot, the name was changed during post-production due to American test audiences associating the term with driving. Anyway, film did get a little bit of reasonable response and what have it. So let's just go ahead and get to the story. DEA agents collect MI6 agent James Bond and his friend CIA agent Felix Leiter on their way to his wedding in Key West to have them assist in capturing drug lords. Drug lord, excuse me. That's some jerk messed up the description. Franz Sanchez. Bond and Leiter capture Sanchez by attaching a hook and cord to his plane and pulling it out of the air with a Coast Guard helicopter. Afterwards, Bond and Leiter parachute down to the church in time for the ceremony. Sanchez bribes DEA agent Ed Killefer and escapes. Meanwhile, Sanchez's henchman, Dario, and his crew ambush Leiter and his wife, Della, and take Leiter to an aquarium owned by one of Sanchez's accomplices, Milton Crest. Sanchez has Leiter lowered into a tank holding a tiger shark. When Bond learns Sanchez has escaped, he returns to Leiter's house to find that he has been maimed and that Della has been murdered, and by implication, raped. Bond with Leiter's friend Sharkey start their own investigation. They discover a marine research center run by Crest, where Sanchez has hidden cocaine and a submarine for smuggling. After Bond kills Killer for using the same shark tank used for Liar, M meets Bond in Key West's Hemingway house and orders him to an assignment in Istanbul, Turkey. Bond resigns after turning down the assignment, but M suspends Bond and instead and revokes his license to kill, hence the title of the movie. Bond becomes a rogue agent, although he later receives unauthorized assistance from Q. Bond boards Crest's ship, Wavecrest, and foils Sanchez's latest drug shipment. Stealing $5 million in the process, he discovers that Sharkey has been killed by Sanchez's henchmen. Bond meets and teams up with Pam Bovier, a pilot and DEA informant at Bimini Bar, and journeys with her to the Republic of Isthmus. He seeks Sanchez's employment by posing as an assassin for hire. Two Hong Kong Narcotics Bureau officers foil Bond's attempt to assassinate Sanchez and take him to an abandoned warehouse. They are joined by Fallon, an MI6 agent who was sent by M to apprehend Bond. Sanchez's men rescue him and kill the officers, believing them to be the assassins. Later, with the aid of Bouvier, Q, and Sanchez's girlfriend, Lupe Lamora, Bond frames Crest by planting the $5 million in Wavecrest. Sanchez shuts Crest into a decompression chamber and cuts the oxygen cord, causing Crest to explosively decompress to his death, and Bond is then admitted to the inner circle. Now to the ending and final act. I'm doing it right now. So you have 5 seconds to stump this video, like always. You know the procedure. Go after that. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below to avoid the ending spoilers. If you've seen the movie already, continue on. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Sanchez takes Bond to his base, which is disguised as the headquarters of a religious cult. Bond learns that Sanchez's scientists can dissolve cocaine in petrol and then sell it disguised as fuel to Asian drug dealers. The televangelist Joe Butcher serves as middleman, working under Sanchez's business manager, Truman Lodge, who uses Butcher's TV broadcast to communicate with Sanchez's customers in the United States. During Sanchez's presentation to potential Asian customers, Dario discovers Bond and betrays him to Sanchez. Bond starts a fire in the laboratory but is captured again and placed on the conveyor belt that drops the brick cocaine into a giant shredder. Bouvier arrives and shoots Dario, allowing Bond to pull Dario into the shredder, killing him. Sanchez flees as fire consumes his base, taking with him 4 tankers full of the cocaine and petrol mixture. Bond pursues them by plane with Bouvier at the controls. During the course of a stunt-filled chase through the desert, Bond destroys 3 of the tankers and kills several of Sanchez's men. Sanchez attacks Bond with a machete aboard the final remaining tanker, which crashes down a hillside. A petrol-soaked Sanchez attempts to kill Bond with his machete, but then Bond reveals his cigarette lighter and the lighter's, which was the lighter's gift for being the best man at their wedding, and sets Sanchez on fire. Burning alive, Sanchez stumbles into the wrecked tanker, destroying it. Bouvier arrives shortly afterward and picks up Bond. Later, a party is held at Sanchez's former residence. Bond receives a call from Liar telling him that M has congratulated him for his work and offers him his job back. He then rejects Lupe's advances and romances Bouvier instead. The end of story. So what do I think of License to Kill? Well, I must say it's pretty good. I mean, while it was the first Bond flick to get the PG-13 rating, everyone got to a little bit of a better reception, unlike the last one getting mixed. With ample praise for the stunts, which that's one thing I liked about it, but it attracted some criticism for its significantly darker tone than its predecessors, which carried Dalton's portrayal of the character, which that's understandable. I know it was kind of darker, but I like the stunts and the action. I mean, that's some of the stuff that you can't go wrong with a Bond flick. Now, and the story isn't too bad either. The cast includes, aside from Mr. Dalton, are Carrie Lowell as Bouvier, Robert Davey as Sanchez, Talisa Soto as Lupe, Anthony Zerbe as Crest, Everett McGill as Killefer, Frank McRae as Sharky, and so on. You know the rest. We have Robert Brown and Carolyn Bliss back for the last time as M and Miss Maypay. Desmond Llewellyn returns as Q. This also includes one of the early appearances of Benicio del Toro, who plays one of Sanchez's henchmen, which happens to be Dario, as a matter of fact. But anyway, that was a pretty good cast. But nevertheless, it's still a pretty good film. I think it was a lot of fun, what have you. I mean, it still got good, much more better response than The Living Daylights, and I have to agree, it's pretty cool. Also, and of course, we have the score for this, which is done by Michael Kamen this time around. And of course, it also has the theme song to it done by Gladys Knight. Yes, of Gladys Knight's and the Pips fame. Of course, this was just one of her solo performances. Now, this was opened during the summer of '89. Yeah, and let me tell you, it didn't quite do as well in the UK because it was going up against several other movies that were out, like Lethal Weapon 2, Ghostbusters 2, Batman, and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which of course featured former Bond Sean Connery. Nevertheless, the film went on to make $156 million worldwide. So anyway, with all that said, with a not too bad story and a pretty good cast, and a good score and a great theme song and great stunts and whatever. But despite a darker tone, would I recommend License to Kill? I would say give it a one-time watch. As that depends. As long as you're a Bond completionist, then I'd say give it a one-time watch. And if you're not satisfied, then don't bother with it again. It's still pretty good in ways. But after that, even though it would be mean that James Bond will return, but unfortunately we wouldn't see Bond back for another 6 years, the longest we've had to wait for him to make a big comeback in GoldenEye, which would bring in TV's Remington Steele himself, Pierce Brosnan, in the role of 007, which I'll be reviewing his films along with the first 4 films of the current James Bond we have, Daniel Craig, next month. I don't have a date for the start of this yet, so details to follow when I get my schedule ready later on, alright? But stay tuned, because later on next week, I'll be bringing to you my ranking of all the Roger Moore movies. I can't guarantee I'll do the short-lived Bonds, though, because that's going to be a little simple and what have you, okay? I think. But who am I kidding? You don't have to take my word for it. So anyway, what are your thoughts on License to Kill? Please tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you a review of the second G.I. Joe movie, and that will be G.I. Joe Retaliation, which I'm doing those in order and its predecessor in order to promote the release of Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, which just now got its final trailer out recently. So thanks for watching, and if you like this, check out these other movies I've recently reviewed. In the upper left-hand corner is the review I did for Black Widow. The upper right-hand corner is the review I did for G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. Or if you would Or if you want to get a little more Timothy Dalton, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of the underrated Flash Gordon from 1980, which he was in a play Prince Baron. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.